Hello everyone. Since it's almost election time and we've had 2 debates so far, I wanted to take a moment to reflect. Normally, there would be 4 presidential debates, but this year we've only had 2, and they weren't even between the same candidates since Biden dropped out of the race. I think that was a good decision on his part. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the very first presidential debate that took place. The first ever televised presidential debate in American history happened on September 26, 1960, and it was nothing short of groundbreaking, kind of like the political version of a reality TV show. Democratic candidate John F. Kennedy and Republican candidate Richard Nixon squared off in what became a turning point in how future elections would be won and lost. With around 70 million viewers glued to their TVs, this wasn't just a debate, it was primetime drama. Set in CBS's Chicago studio, it was broadcast live, and for the first time, Americans didn't just hear their potential leaders. They saw them, every last bead of sweat included. John F. Kennedy, then a relatively unknown senator, prepared for this debate as if he were about to go on a first date. He rested, studied his notes, and made sure to look his absolute best. He even applied makeup to ensure he didn't look like a ghost under the hot lights. Smart move. Wearing a sharp, dark suit that popped on the black and white screen, Kennedy exuded confidence and calmness. With his tan complexion and ability to stare directly into the camera, he seemed like he was personally asking voters, "So, how's your day going?" His smooth performance won over viewers, many of whom probably thought, "Wow, this guy could also star in a Hollywood film." Meanwhile, Richard Nixon approached the debate more like a guy running late to an important meeting. Nixon had been on the campaign trail nonstop, had recently recovered from a knee injury, and decided he didn't need makeup because, well, maybe he thought everyone would be too focused on his answers to notice his appearance. Spoiler, they weren't. Nixon's light gray suit blended into the background, making him look a little like a tired ghost, and his refusal to wear makeup left him sweating under the harsh lights. As he darted his eyes between Kennedy and the moderators, the poor guy just seemed like he was having the world's longest, most uncomfortable job interview. When the debate got down to substance, it focused on serious issues like the Cold War, the economy, and civil rights. Nixon delivered detailed, well-informed responses, but the problem was that he looked so uncomfortable that it was hard to pay attention to what he was saying. Meanwhile, Kennedy, speaking in smooth, polished tones and connecting directly with the camera, came off like he was already sitting in the Oval Office. If this had been a radio debate, Nixon probably would have nailed it. But on TV, he looked like he was fighting through a bad cold and stage fright all at once. The most hilarious part of this debate's legacy is the stark contrast between radio listeners and television viewers. Those who listened to the debate on the radio thought Nixon had won, appreciating his detailed responses and experience. But for those watching at home, Kennedy was the clear winner. It's like when you hear a movie is great, but then you watch it and suddenly the lead actor's weird facial expressions ruin it for you. Kennedy's composed demeanor, smooth delivery, and non-sweaty face were enough to tip the scales. In the end, this debate was a huge turning point, not just for that election but for every presidential campaign that followed. Kennedy's strong showing helped propel him to victory in the 1960 election, becoming the 35th president of the United States. Nixon, unfortunately, learned the hard way that in the world of televised politics, looking like you've had a rough day can cost you votes. And so, future politicians took note. It's not just what you say but how good you look saying it. Bonus points if you can avoid sweating like you just ran a marathon. So, if you watched until the end, thank you, and please like and subscribe if you want to. If not, it's alright.